Hi there, everyone. Welcome to Canadian Starships live stream tonight. My name's Andrew, and we are going to be doing some Aztecing work. Tonight we have Ken producing. Say hi, Ken.
Hello, everyone.
Hope you guys are doing all right tonight. And Jody, I hope that your stream went really well. I don't know how long you went on for because I've been preparing for this stream. But did Jody's stream just end?
Yes, he did.
Okay. Well, welcome to everybody who's joining from Jody's stream. And we're going to do some more Aztecing work tonight. Surprise, surprise. We're hopefully moving on to doing the mask placement on the secondary hull, the upper secondary hull sections. So we will get to that here shortly. I do have my tea, Earl Grey, hot, and ready to get some work done. But how are you doing tonight, Ken?
I'm doing quite well, actually. Always having a good time here when I join you here. It's kind of funny to watch you before the stream starts. Sometimes you're airplaying the drums to the music and stuff. So kind of behind the scenes stuff.
Today I was rushing to get this camera set up because I forgot to. Because we might need a look at this desk a little bit tonight as well.
Okay.
So I was just working on trying to get that one set up because of course I've got the bench view here.
Looking good.
Ready to go. You can see the Aztecs from last week. How the base Aztec panel whole thing is on there, and we're going to be moving to the secondary hull tonight. And before we get to Aztec, let's see. Take two. Before we get to laying down Aztec masks on that secondary hull section, there's a little spot here we need to add a piece. So we're going to add the rear photon launcher, get that clamped down, and then we're going to start working on getting mats on from the neck down. And then the back end will be the last area we work on. So we'll do the neck. We'll do this section in here, like the secondary hull. We'll get the upper nacelle masks on, and then the back end over here where the torpedo launcher is on the pylon section will be the last area we work on so that piece has some time to get down. But let's see. Who's here in the chat today so far?
Well, we have Stephen Haynes. He says hello to you and myself.
Welcome.
And Jody saying hi, and he says he thinks the stream went well. I would say yes, it did, Jody.
Good.
And he said he got a lot done, and that's it for people chatting to us.
Oh,
even though I see we have a few other people, watching.
Well, if you're here, say hi in the chat. It's always nice to know who we're talking to on these live streams, so don't be shy. Let us know you're here.
Oh, there we go. We have Howard is here.
Hola.
And Alan Kelly is here.
Welcome.
Howard says, well, if you keep talking, you'll never get anything done.
Yeah, well, I usually take a moment and say hi and see who's here and stuff before we actually get some work done. Did you get any of that snow this week, Ken, or did it avoid your area?
No, we got some of that snow. Okay. Wasn't as bad as you guys have been getting hit further east. But yeah. No, it still had quite a deep bit of snow on my driveway yesterday.
We had 3 snow days this week.
Ooh.
For the kids. So was it? Yeah, because I think like Monday was a snow day, I think. And then Thursday and Friday were snow days for sure. So fun. Lots of shoveling out as well. So
no snowblower?
Well, we have one, but it doesn't work. It's also out in our backyard shed. And since we installed a new air conditioning unit, there's not really a lot of room anyway to bring it from the back to the front. Plus, I don't want to store it in the garage here because I don't want to be opening those big doors this time of year when I'm trying to do work in here because all the heat just goes. I wish we had just a person door and not the big garage door, like just the garage doors. I wish we had a person door as well, because that would keep a lot of the heat inside. But it is what it is right now. So.
Well, Howard's saying, talking about last night's stream, we went until 4 a.m. and we got graced with Wayne and Will on the stream last night, and Jordan. Where's Ken and Andrew been lately on the streams?
Well, when it comes to those streams, it all depends on my kids.
And for me, I just feel like I'm getting too old lately.
All right.
Sunday's better for me.
Yeah, Fridays are typically better for me than the Sundays, but it all depends on the kids. And after a few snow days, I was not up to doing any work after the kids went to bed because I'd been shoveling a lot of snow. So yeah, that's where things are at there. All right, let's do that.
All right.
And I will go over and grab the piece that is going to go there because it's been painted today.
And Trent's here. He says, hello.
Hello, Trent. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, sorry, Howard. I missed the Wednesday stream. I fell asleep. And then I woke up really late at night. I think it was about 11 o'clock at night. I woke up and I was like, okay, where am I? What time is it?
The
one of those moments.
The Wednesday stream you're talking about?
Yeah, the Woody Wednesday.
Okay.
I'm hoping to be on there the next Wednesday.
Bear with me for a moment. I'm just looking for for my strip of plastic core that I can cut up for a palette for my epoxy.
All right, Jody, drive safe. Jody says, well, time to go already. I'll see you when I return.
All right. Jody must be heading out somewhere then.
Could be going to pick up. Yeah, he's got to go pick up his wife, he said.
All right.
Sir Fix-A-Lot is also joining us here tonight.
Welcome to the live stream. Where did I put that?
Your epoxy?
No, the epoxy's on my desk there. I'm looking for the plastic core strip that I cut a piece off of in order to use as a palette for the...
Is it under your iPad?
No, it's not under here. I just had it today because I had to glue some parts on. And I had the whole, I had a strip of it. And it's just disparu. C'est disparu.
Oh. We have Todd here. He says, hello and good evening, all.
Welcome, Todd. How are you doing tonight? Hope the house is going okay. I'm going to have to cut myself a new strip, I think. So I'm going to do that.
Once you do that, you'll find the old one.
Yeah, once I cut a fresh strip off of the big piece, I will find the strip already in progress. So one moment.
Todd says he's just leaving the new house now and he's heading home.
Hopefully everything's been done properly recently.
And hopefully we'll see some pictures on Discord soon.
All right. Just some plastic core. I guess, it's got looks like cardboard, but it's plastic.
Yep.
So I've got a bunch of this from various things. And I just chop a square. Stash this over here. It's too big right now not to be able to find it later. So I've got the photon launcher part, which I had Keith at Cosmic Scale Models. Where is my somewhere around.
Maybe it's with the Plasticore.
Yeah, maybe it's with the Plasticore. But here's the Cosmic Scale Models card.
Oh, you froze.
I froze.
But you're going again now. It froze
Oh.
for about like 2-3 seconds on the big screen, not the little screen.
Okay, good to know. That's probably. I mean, it's not delayed right now,
Nope.
which is nice because that's just running via Wi-Fi. I'm using an old iPhone 11 as a backup camera, and it's just running Wi-Fi through Video Ninja. All right, so let's grab the epoxy. And one side never flows properly, and I can never get the right amount out.
Which brand are you using? Gorilla Glue or?
This is the JB Weld.
Okay.
But I was using it earlier, and so it looks like I'm able to get just the tiniest little bit out of the side that's generally problematic. Donnie was saying that he's had really good luck with like the Gorilla Glue, crazy glue on the resin printed kit parts. So I might give that a try on the next project.
Well, certainly with smaller parts too.
Yeah, because you don't have to mix that, right?
No, yeah.
So that's nice. So I'm probably going to give it a go on the Excelsior/B, whichever one it is that it ends up being first on the docket.
Well, I know Gorilla Glue does make a 2-part epoxy as well.
Yeah. But he was
using it.
He was using the crazy glue on the Orville. Now I'm going to have to try to find the same resin whenever I get around to doing that Orville.
Right.
I'm going to have to find the same kind of resin he's using to print it. Oop. Because
you're looking to do the Orville as well.
Yeah, he's like I'm buying the file, and he is printing it for me.
Jim is here.
Welcome. I'm gonna have to just grab it. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing anymore because I switched it over already.
You did. And Ken's model shop is here.
Welcome. Ken, your model shop is here.
It is.
So as I was saying, this is I'm going to have some gap to fill here.
And then come along later and touch up with some of the base color.
Yep. So we may just be doing the neck and
tops of the nacelles.
Tops of the nacelles tonight. Because it looks like that's going to take a little bit of work. I can't really see this well, so I'm assuming you can't see it very well.
No, not really. But it's more important that you get it right than us seeing it.
So I'm just clamping that part down. Yeah, so there's some there's a gap there that's going to have to be filled. Right where the like you wouldn't have been able to see it on camera. I'll once that's adhered on in a little bit, I will try to show it to you.
Sounds good. I'm assuming just between the parts where it joins against the hull.
Yeah. So just to the if you're looking at it from this end.
Yep.
On the if you're
the viewer's right-hand side. If we're looking at it from the viewer's right-hand side, you come
so
down the neck part.
If you're
and
looking
you can
at
see
it,
it goes down the center of the secondary hull, and where those two pieces, the piece you just put on and that ridge meet.
Yeah. So if you're looking at it from the back end of the ship,
okay,
then the right side of the torpedo launcher part that just got installed, there's an opening there that's going to have to be filled.
Oh, okay. So along the side.
Yeah. So kind of right in. Let me just pull up the camera control here. And let me just center that. I can go in a little closer. And then there's two little tiny holes that have shown up. So let me grab something to point with here. So there's two little tiny holes, like just with the air bubbles or something, that I will fill. But right in here, and you can't see it because the clamp's in the way, but right in here, there's a gap. And that's going to have to be filled. These parts here, and here. So I'd forgotten to install those. Let me come in from this side so you can see exactly where I'm pointing to. So they're gray right now.
Yeah.
So those are just two little insert parts I had forgotten to add. And so those are going to be the second color.
Okay.
They won't have masks covering them, so they'll be the second color. So they've just been primed with the gray. They haven't had base coat because they're not going to need base coat.
No, yeah.
So I didn't bother. All right, and I've got this set up. Hopefully this works. I've got this set up where I hit one button.
Nice.
And it just returns. There we go. All right. Okay. Now I have also some video to create here tonight as well. So again, you're getting a little bit of the behind the scenes look at the video production part of things here too. So just a service we provide here at the moment on the Canadian Starships live streams, because we are working on building a deep dive series on the masking of this while we're doing live streams. Oh, and I don't have a project started yet. Okay. So let's go to this screen here so that you can see what I'm doing. And we're just going to start a new project, and we're going to call it, what's the last one called? The Aztek Masking Video 02, I guess is what we're going to call it. And right now it's taking up all of my screen. I'm just kind of curious here for one moment. If let's go to position. What does it look like?
Looks kind of smaller now, and you can see where it's just kind of going off to the ends of the screen.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how small it had to be in order for me to go full width. In order to go be full width, this is what it looks like. Yeah, that's gonna be too small for people to see. So I will keep it. Let's see.
Down to single screen width.
Yeah, I will do that because I'm doing a window. So let's go. I can barely see what I'm doing here while I'm doing it.
And for all our viewers tonight, just wondering if anybody's at their hobby bench right now? And if so, let us know what you're working on.
Yeah, what projects are you working on tonight? There we go. So this is going to be the best I can do, I think. So this is DaVinci Resolve.
Easier to see.
Yeah, DaVinci Resolve, where I do all of my editing, and we've just started a new presentation. I mean a new
Job.
Project.
Here we go.
For. A new project, and we're gonna start throwing some stuff in here. Let's see. So we'll start with our first clip. That's an audio clip. That's not what I want. I want video. And we must be zoomed way out here. There we go. That's a bit better. Let's bring our audio in. Because not only is this a live stream, but we're producing video at the same time. So I'm lining up doing a rough lineup of my clicks. We'll zoom in. We'll do a fine-tune lineup. Yeah, unfortunately, you're probably not going to hear much of the video.
Well, I could hear you snapping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey there, Mike. Yeah, whatever you're going to hear is just what you can hear over the mic coming off my speakers.
Hey there, everyone. My name's Andrew, and this is Canadian Starship.
We're lined up. Get rid of the onboard camera audio. And
our deep dive.
Let's see.
Hey there, everyone. My name's Andrew.
Let's do a little
hey there, everyone.
fade in. Now we're gonna go. Let's see. We're gonna open up the last video.
Ken says he's on his workbench, currently working on a Klingon battle cruiser. Well, that's cool. What scale? I think it was the 650. We'll find out.
And this is Canadian Starships. Let's continue our deep dive look at the Aztek masking for the 650 scale Enterprise D projects.
There we go. Intro. Now I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna go back again. There's a lot of my standard assets. I just go back to my old my last video, and I just grab them directly out of there, and just toggle back and forth between them and drop them in. And I didn't leave enough of a gap. There we go. Drop it in.
Projects.
Okay, the 1/600 scale. That's cool, Ken. Steven's just watching before he goes to bed.
Is it late for you?
Well, he's in the UK, so
yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, he'd be 5 hours ahead of you.
Wow. So that would make it like 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
I
will be asleep at 2:30 in the morning unless my kids don't want me to be.
Done on the top sauce. It's just going to be the same, but get right on it.
There we go. That's the intro, which you're not seeing all of it because I know it's good. Oh, no, that's not what I want. I want to save it and switch back to the previous video. And then we're going to grab the next kind of standardized little bit here.
Asset.
Yeah, which includes my door slide sound. So I just copy that from one to the other. You're getting a little look at my editing flow here too. And then we've got Ken's trick of just double clicking to put the slide transition in.
Yep.
All right, I'm going
Which I discovered by accident.
my logo, paste my logo. Oh, yep. Paste my logo in there again. Drag it out. And then it ends for that. And then comes back in on the next little video section, which we'll bring in here, video number 2. Just filmed this afternoon in preparations for the live stream. I've got the my thumbnail for this live stream are these masks laid out in the shape of the ship.
So here's the next.
We'll cut that up. Get rid of the, oh, that's not what I meant to do. Get rid of the onboard camera audio.
So here's the next batch of masks that we're going to.
Okay. We're going to put the transition in. Oh, zoom in a little bit more here. Copy and paste our audio.
So here's the next batch of masks that we're going to be using. We've got, and the top of the warp times, weeding them on the model.
So basically, I'm just introducing the parts here. And mentioning that some of these will go on weeded, some of them will not be weeded. All right, so we're up to date here, ready to go. Minus, oh, just one more thing I need to add here. Let's copy that and paste that in and drag it to the end. So I've introduced these parts, and tonight we're going to install them.
So do you need to record a part where you say, before I do that, I'm going to add this photon torpedo part? Or?
No, because I'm not. This isn't this isn't a build video.
This is just a masking video.
This is just masking.
Okay.
And the photon torpedo part was already installed on the last ship, so I don't need to show that I'm doing it a second time on this one. All right, so I'm going to take a quick peek at, I'm going to grab one of the neck pieces, and I'm going to look on the model and see which pieces get taken off.
Howard said he did a transition by accident.
Yeah.
Did you keep it, or did you end up removing it?
So a successful transition, because he's been struggling with his transitions. Because hopefully it was a successful transition. Let me switch to this view here. And so we're just going to keep doing this the same way we did last time. Except this is not going to be pre-weeded.
Right.
We're going to put it on the model and then weed it. Because some of these parts are just, some of these pieces are just easier to do, to locate if they've got everything on. In fact, I did the saucer completely unweeded last time, but realized it would be just as easy to weed it ahead. So I did.
Ken says, Andrew, I picked up 2 cans of Rust-Oleum 2X Ultra Cover Satin French Blue for my Enterprise D. Plus, I have none lit Enterprise D that needs a new paint job.
Okay.
Plus, I have.
Are you going to paint the Aztecs? And which are you going to do, TV version or movie version?
Or are you just using that as a base color to put the decals over? If you aren't painting.
Well, I don't know that the French blue would be what you'd want to use. Well, if he's using the French blue, then it's likely the Generations, because that's the base color for the Generations. And it's the base color if you're masking it. Wouldn't necessarily be base color if you're adding Aztek decals to it. Because technically the French blue would be the secondary Aztek color, but just because of the way the masking works, it's the color you want down first.
He says maybe the TV version.
Because the TV version's more a gray, right? The French blue is fairly specific to the TNG version. All right. Let me get the overhead camera going here. And I'm going to zoom it in and focus on that neck area there. Well, that's pretty good.
That's right in there.
That's right in there, yeah.
Okay, I don't know if you were paying attention to what you just said, though. You said the French blue is more for the TNG version.
For the Generations.
Right. That's what you meant.
For the movie.
Right. Just don't want you confusing poor Ken.
Yeah, we don't want to confuse anybody. Yeah, the French blue is more specific to the movie version.
Is there a different color you would recommend for the television version?
I'd really have to look at it to see, but it is more of a. So actually, like the just want to make sure. Oh, microphone. Okay, just making sure it's not getting. What is that? There's some coloring on there, like a spot of something. Something made its way onto the model. Don't like that. Not sure what that is. But we're removing it. Okay. Yeah, so sorry, I was saying I would have to really do some looking to see what color I'd want to paint that as a base color. The other issue with the TV version, the other problem with the TV version is that what the model was actually painted is nothing like how it translated on screen, because the model was originally painted a gray and a green. The Aztek panels were green,
like a duck egg green color.
Yeah, and you never saw it on screen. If you look carefully on the remastered, you can see it,
But it came across very differently, and then the 4-foot came across differently again, and then there's the remastered versions, and so you kind of have to just pick a version that you want to do and kind of go with it. So just what most people tend to do is make it match their memory of the ship. Make it match what you remember the ship being.
That sounds like good advice. I've also heard that said for the TOS ship.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to... I should just make sure that that audio is working properly.
Ken says, I have 2 sets of Aztek decals for the 1/1400 scale Enterprise D, and the decals are from Star Trek Generation.
So the decal, yeah, Star Trek Generations for the decals. Yeah, I'd have, again, I'm not sure the French blue might be the one of the colors on the decals. It might be more this this Russian Air Force blue-gray color. That would be what you want for your base.
So quickly hold up a sheet of decals to your screen there, Ken. And compare the color to what you see on the screen.
Yeah.
Or on the top of your spray can lid.
Is it the round 2 decals, or are they aftermarket decals? That would be a question too. I have a set of the round 2 decals that came with the 1400 scale when they were including them, but I don't want to open up the decals. I don't want to open the bag.
Right. It's unfortunate that for that model they don't include the decals anymore for people who want to go that route.
Very true. All right, I'm going to get you to mute there for a minute, Ken.
All right.
And I'm going to film the application of this mask. And I'm going to take my face off the screen while I do it. You'll still be able to hear me. Let's make sure that I'm recording this to the proper location. Okay. And hit record. Record. We are now recording. Just move this, make sure, oh, that's in frame. Okay. So this is the port side mask for the back of the neck. And for this, this microphone is just in the wrong spot completely. So let's try to move it and keep it out of frame. And we'll go again. And I've got to stop for a moment. A piece of the mask just came off on my fingers. So I'm stopping the recording. Okay,
all right.
I've got to reapply this tiny piece of masking that came off on my finger while I was doing that.
And it looks like you can see a shoe impression too on that.
Yeah, you can see the. So part of the mask, like part of the transfer, is still good. So I'm using it.
Yeah. So Ken says the decals are from round 2. Yeah, I don't know who else would make decals for that, for the Aztecs.
Whatever you do, never buy decals from anything associated with the name Red Phoenix.
Oh, sounds like there's a story to that.
It's just not good at all. They steal artwork and have terrible quality.
Oh, okay. Good to
all
know.
Right.
I'm
going
mute.
to go back to the model here. I'm not quite recording yet. I'm going to find, or I want to find that recording.
Okay. I found what we did record, and I'm deleting that. Okay. And recording again. Let's try this again. I've got the mask for the port side back of the neck, and this is one of the ones that I'm going to place as a full sheet of masks. And I'm going to come in, use the top of the impulse deck as one of my guidelines. I'm using the neck, the neck shape itself here in the center as another one of my guidelines. And because I've left all the masks on and in place, the whole thing has become a guide for me. There we go. Place that on and lift this up, and then we will weed it once it's on the model here. We're doing live masking on camera. Not only are we doing it live in camera for this video, but there's an audience currently watching me doing it live on live stream. So it's currently Saturday night. We're currently live streaming. I'm going to put my glasses back on here now that I'm not needing to be super up close. And every Saturday night, or at least most Saturday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, I'm live streaming all this work. So feel free to come on by, and you get a bit of a sneak peek at the work that's being done in the shop. And there we go. First piece on. I'll put the second piece on, weed them, and then I'll bring you back. All right, we're clear.
All right. It looks like Ken is saying the decals are a slightly different color than the French blue.
Yeah, the other thing you have to keep in mind is that those decals are designed to go over a base color. So the coloring should be adjusted to take that into account. Let's see, where's my face here? So if you're putting the decals over pure white, then it would be the same color essentially as that, as the decal panels. But you're not putting them over pure white, you're putting them over your base color. And I'm going to assume that for that reason too, you're using the lighter color as your base color, and then the darker tones are your decals that are going on. I mean, don't quote me on that because I don't know for sure, but that is what I would guess. I'm just putting the video that we just recorded in the appropriate folder, getting it ready to bring into the editing suite.
Ken said the Aztek color is lighter than the French blue, and he said, I meant the French blue. So I'm assuming he means the French blue is lighter than the Aztek color. Is that what you meant, Ken?
So, well, the French blue, if it's going over top of the gray base coat, will be lighter because the gray base coat will darken the tone of the Aztecs. So you're going to get a little bit of that coloring coming through underneath, right?
Right.
Because those Aztecs won't be white backed. So the Aztecs themselves will be transparent. So that coloring going over top of the gray coloring will hopefully, that combination, give you the coloring you're expecting on it. And I just did something weird here. Oh, no, I didn't. I was chopping off the beginning of that clip.
Are you sure their professional decals won't be white backed?
Not for the Aztecs, they wouldn't be.
Okay.
I've got the mask for the ports
Okay, let's throw the transition in. You're seeing resolve, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay. So I've got some things covering my StreamYards at the moment, so I wasn't sure exactly what you were seeing.
Applied to the model. I've got the mask for the ports.
Yeah, he says Aztek is lighter than the French blue.
In the center.
So that's going to darken up all your Aztecs.
I've left all the masks.
I still think it'll look good.
Live on live stream every Saturday night, where that's being done. I'll bring you back.
If you're going to use the Aztek masks, though, if you're going to use the Aztek decals, check out John's channel, John Child, his channel, Captain's Dry Dock. In the Enterprise D build series, which is not complete because he hasn't completed it. It's kind of gone on the shelf for several years, but he was showing a system where the masks, I keep saying masks, the decals go on, and then a blending coat is used to blend the coloring of the decals.
Okay.
So that's something to maybe consider doing, because it makes the decals look more painted. Because often guys will just stick the decals on and be done with it.
Yeah.
The contrast in those decals is quite extreme, or at least the ones I've seen. The contrast in the Aztek decals is extreme. So if you blend it, it'll look plus you'll have that paint finish over top of the decals, and it'll look a little bit more painted. And be mindful of any areas where there is clear carrier that's extra. And be very, very mindful of wrinkling on your Aztecs, on your decals. The biggest thing I see when people use the decals is that they get wrinkled because they're such large sections, right? They get wrinkling on their Aztecs.
Yeah, I've seen some people cut their decals up a little bit more than what the sheet offers. Of course, then you're trying to match everything up, but it's easier to handle. So it's kind of which way do you want to, face it?
Oh, sorry, you're not seeing what I'm doing here. Let me close this window so I can see what you're seeing. Something I didn't do last time, which I should have done because it made my life just a little bit harder for placement. So I'm doing this time. I put the edge of the transfer film right at the bottom so it can just sit on top of the impulse deck there, and put it right at the edge of the masking on this side so I can butt it right up against that centerpiece. Should just make applying the decals a little bit easier. The
masks.
Should make applying the masks a little bit easier. Been going back and forth between decals and masks, and I'm getting them all confused. I'm going to refill my tea.
You do that. That'd be interesting to do as an experiment, though, like trying out finding out what base colors would be best for different ships and different methods. So if you're going to paint or if you're going to, decal.
I'm just opening up my YouTube.
Like, for example, does the E come with Aztek decals or no? No? Okay.
No,
So they're
you can-
aftermarket as well.
yeah, you
Aftermarket
can
as
get
well.
aftermarket ones for those.
Yeah.
But again, my preference is to paint.
Well, I was just thinking if it did come with, that would give you a chance to experiment. Something like that.
Yeah.
To tell people.
I did receive copies of the A Creation decals for the E from somebody.
Yep.
Because they weren't going to use them, but and that was that was while I was still deciding what I was going to do on that original E. But the A Creation decals, that particular run of them at least, were very pink in color.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I think they must have had a printing issue when they did that particular run of them, because I've seen other like images of other sets of the A Creation decals that didn't have the pink hues, but I don't understand how they would have passed like quality inspection and been shipped out to people.
Ken says, I will check it out and watch the video, and I won't be working on the D for some time. Too much on my workbench at the moment.
Yeah, I hear you on that one. I love these. I love building these things, but I'm going to be happy to see them done. So I can just move on to something different.
Gordon's here. He says, hi, guys.
Hey, Gordon. Welcome to the live stream. We're masking.
Again.
It's kind of going to be the theme here for the next little bit. Masking and painting. Painting and masking.
Howard says, I don't know if you saw in 3D printing on Discord, I posted a link to Gambody's new STL files for the Enterprise F.
I saw you talking about it. I think it was in Jody's stream.
And we're not seeing what you're doing because we're on your desk.
You want me to switch cameras, don't you?
Oh, you know, I wouldn't mind. Should we ask the audience? Take a poll? Oh, Howard's working on cleaning his house and working on his F-35 turbojet.
Oh, I should have probably just checked to see which ones had to be removed, and then just let them come off with the carrier film if they were sections that happened to not want to stick down.
Yeah.
There we go. That's another section on. And then we're going to do the spine. And just looking at the other model. It's actually, the majority of this mask is not going to stay on the model.
Howard is saying it's fiddly because there's a lot of screws, talking about his F-35. And then he said, so I missed why you don't weed these like the saucer section.
Having the entire piece of vinyl there in certain areas aids in
in placement. Just helps with the being able to place it a little easier. Because some of these masks, a lot of the vinyl is removed, especially a lot of the vinyl in the areas that you would use the edge to line it up on the model. So with the pie pieces on the saucer, it's pretty straightforward in the placement, because you still get a good straight edge, the way that those pie pieces work. But on these, like on this one here, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see or not. If you can see the little separations there, but the only part of the mask that's going to stay on are these small pieces. The whole middle section comes out. So if I remove 80% of the vinyl to pre-weed it, it's going to be more difficult for me to get the placement right. So it depends on the pieces.
Yeah, it allows you to see if you're more squared off with, where it's supposed to be, and yeah.
And it's really a piece by piece thing. Some pieces it doesn't really matter one way or the other. Like those pie pieces on the saucer, I did them not pre-weeded on the first model, and I did them weeded on this one. Really doesn't matter. I just knew from doing it the first time that I really didn't need to put the whole piece of vinyl on. I could pre-weed and it would be perfectly okay. And I know from some of these other sections that it would be a nightmare to position if I did pre-weed. So it's really a section by section kind of a deal. I just have the benefit of having done this once already. And so I kind of know how each piece is going to work. Now this piece, I'm going to film the application of this piece, I think, because it does go down onto the impulse deck there. And not that it's a big deal, but it is a little bit of a weird part because it goes on that angled piece. So I think I'm going to film that part of it here. So let's hit record. Let's fade over to here. Let's take my face out of the way and apply the mask. I'm going to turn the camera, not the camera, the microphone, because I'm going to apply this from the other side, I think. Oh, the microphone's pointing the wrong direction. As long as it stays out of frame, we're good. All right, second piece is on the starboard side here. Now we're going to put the spine section on, and you can see, hopefully you can see, if I bring it up to the camera a little bit, how it's tapered at the end here, and the part is tapered here. And that's where this piece is going. So we're going to line this up on the bottom. And we're going to apply it to this angled piece. And then we're going to run it up the top. And we're going to remove the backing. Now, the spine piece is another good piece that you want to keep it intact when you install it, because probably 80% of this vinyl, and a piece just came up on me here. I don't know yet if that's a piece I have to remove, so I'm going to put it back in place here. But probably 80% of this vinyl on this piece is going to come off. And if I took that off before putting the mask in place, then we'd have some placement issues with that. So keeping the mask intact for some of these sections just aids in the alignment and placement of them. Recording done. And before I forget, I'm gonna just fine tune that one spot here that moved.
Just near the end of the recording, the camera froze here for stream. So I'll check to make sure it didn't for your recording. I don't think it would have.
That's easy enough to check.
Howard says, these questions I ask, I'm interested in because of the models I got or want to do.
Yep. Makes sense. I'm just going to check that video. Make sure it didn't...
Let's hit record. Let's fade over to here. Let's take my face out of the way.
Do you remember where about it?
Probably like 5 or 6 seconds before the end of what you would have wanted to record. There's like that, like...
Then we'd have some placement issues.
It was after you put that square back in place.
Some of these sectional on this piece is going to come off. And if I took that off before putting the mask in place, then we'd have some placement issues with that. So keeping the mask intact for some of these sections just aids in the alignment and placement of them.
There was a small jitter, but I'm not going to worry about it.
Okay. Yeah, you don't want to have to pull that off and re-record it.
No, I don't want to do that.
And you're just a little bit over an hour in, so I don't know if you want to give us a commercial break.
Again,
all right. Yeah, we'll do that. So we're just going to take a forced commercial break so that YouTube is happy. And this way, this allows us to not have advertisements interrupting important things. Like that time that I hit the button right as I was saying that. So just for fun. I don't know if anybody's actually getting an ad, but it would be funny if it actually worked.
Was that one guy out there?
I'm just going to say, let us know if you got an ad just now. So I'm going to throw the video I just captured into my folder. And I'm going to close down YouTube Studio because it's showing me, when I'm in YouTube Studio, it shows me video from like the past. So I don't know what that's going on about. So I don't think anybody actually got an ad because nobody's saying that they got an ad.
Well, that's good. Oh, Steven's taken off. He says, night, everyone, and stay safe.
Have a good night. Thanks for stopping in. All right, let me switch to... There we go. Let's throw this in.
The mask.
All the stuff I need to cut away.
Frame will go. All right, second peep.
Alan says he got an ad.
What was that?
Alan says he got an ad.
He got a... I was about to say he got a mask.
And Ken says he was hit with an ad.
Did the timing work? That's the next question. Did the timing work? I would much rather control it manually because one, I'm able to make sure that there aren't too many. So if we just do like 2 in a stream or something like that, at least we're making YouTube happy and we're not interrupting all the time. And then 2, controlling it means it's not interrupting important things. So
right. And Alan says yes. So I guess the timing was right.
Just aids in the alignment and placement of them. Just aids in the alignment and placement of them.
some of the video that I take off of this camera over my bench, like over the rolling bench, because it is such a long arm, because it has to go up, over to get high enough to capture the full the full size of the ship.
Yeah.
And then so it's on a very long outstretched arm. It can get a little bit wobbly, especially if you move the desk or anything like that. So I'm having to make use of the stability, the stabilization. That's the word. I'm having to make use of the stabilization feature in DaVinci quite often. I had to stabilize the entire time lapses I did. And I think the demasking one was about 45 minutes before I condensed it down to 1 minute for YouTube Shorts. And I had to stabilize that entire footage before I compressed it down because I had a couple clips because I had to stop the camera. So I had a couple clips. So I wanted to edit out points where I wasn't at the model.
Right.
So I cut it all together in full length time. And then I rendered that all out. But before I did that, I stabilized all of the clips. So I stabilized all the clips. I edited the clips down, worked out about 45 minutes pre time lapse, rendered it out, brought it back into a fresh project. Then I shrunk it down to the 1 minute. And it took quite a bit to like get it compressed, 45 minutes compressed down to 1 minute. But I think it turned out fairly well. But all that footage had to be compressed. I mean, had to be stabilized. All right. So let's save this project. Let's return to the bench. I'm going to refill my tea. Earl Grey, hot. Take a sip. Actually, I probably need a sip of water too, because tea is not the most refreshing thing.
Hey, nice mug. I was wondering if you used it yet.
Not gonna lie, it did sit on the shelf for a week or two before I got around to washing it before using it.
Yeah.
With the kids, there's just so many dishes to do. And sometimes the other dishes take priority.
Yes, I would imagine so.
All right. So the whole middle section of, where are my tweezers? Tweezers. I just want to have another quick look at something here. No, I've got it lined up properly. So, as you'll see here, there's going to be a significant amount of masking material on this one removed.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So we just have these narrow pieces. And a couple of these, just with the placement, might just need to be nudged over a little bit. We'll see. But yeah, so that's this whole piece had to be removed. So placing it with just those pieces in would be a little tricky. So that's why I opted to leave them unweeded. All right. And corner pieces. I know you can't see me referencing the other model, but this corner piece here, I don't know if you can see, it stays. So that tells me where I need to pull. And somebody
Bill
on
Bose here, he says the sheer size of this thing is astounding. Looks great.
Thanks.
And Howard says, I wouldn't mind a Yeti mug, but I saw the prices and I just can't justify having one. Well, Howard, if you're good this year, maybe by Christmas, you might get one.
And there you can see there as well, just how much of that masking is pulled away.
That is a lot.
So yeah, in these cases, it just makes your life a little easier.
Do you want to record this, taking this last one off, or?
I don't really need to record. I don't think I need to record the removal. I mean, I can, if you think it would be helpful for people.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I guess once you just show how much is left over, they kind of get an idea as well. Howard says, I was bad last year and I got coal. I hope it was beautiful, clean coal.
At least coal isn't nothing.
That's right. Use that to keep warm.
Well, maybe I'll film a little segment here just showing the two sides and showing at least that one big part being removed.
Yeah.
All right, so eliminating the face, starting the record. And you may notice I'm not doing the whole snapping my fingers thing when I'm recording right now, because when I'm recording off of this camera, it records through not OBS, but the vMix, which is what I'm using instead of OBS, and it records the audio at the same time. So I'm not recording the audio separately. All right, we are recording. So here we are with the port side weeding done, and you can see just how much of the mask has been removed. So if I had pre-weeded this, it would have been a lot more difficult locating this, where these straight edges give you a really good placement positioning factor on it. So for these pieces, definitely worth taking the masking off that you don't need once it's applied to the model. Now, I got to cheat this time on figuring out which parts I removed, because I could just go over to the other ship where I've already done all the work to decide which parts get removed. But the first time I did this, I just had to look at the studio model to figure it out. But these corners here on these pieces are the pieces that have to stay on. Also, it's just the little tiny pieces on the spine that stay on. So you remove probably 80% of that mask there. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by removing the large piece. And there's some smaller sections within this piece that have to stay in place. And you'll notice, or if you're not going to notice, I'm going to point it out to you, that the patterning is slightly different on this side than on this. So these pieces are not symmetrical on the ship. So the patterning is not symmetrical. But what is similar is just the amount of material you're removing. So just work through removing what you need to. Just make sure those little bits, like these strips, actually stay behind on the model. Here we go. We're just following mask. There we go. And that's the large piece. I just usually look at the piece to make sure there aren't any other bits stuck in. And then all we're going to do is look at the alternating panels. For example, there's a panel here that is on the inside. It's the alternating panel. And so we're just going to remove that. And we do the same thing all the way down until we get those all taken off. And recording done.
Looking good.
Yeah, I'm not doing this whole step-by-step tutorial kind of thing isn't my normal way of making videos. So the input is definitely valid there, because I would have just not done that clip.
Yeah. Howard says the amount of time to add and remove the amount of time to add and remove the mask takes a lot of time versus the painting. So true. So true.
Well, what
But
takes
it's so
the
worth
time?
it.
Section.
What takes the time is creating the videos at the same time.
Well, true.
It would go a lot faster if I wasn't content creating.
Yeah. But just for someone at home doing this on their own, not recording, yeah, it does take, that is the longest portion, is the applying the masking and weeding and all that different stuff. And then it comes to the paint part, and that's, over and done pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah, actually painting it, it goes fairly quickly. But, yeah.
Now, because when I'm recording off, not OBS recording, so here we are.
When I'm cutting footage, I make heavy use of the peaks and valleys on the audio to indicate where things are.
Howard says, I had to throw out facts about how Tesla vehicles are in the winter when Buck was saying how bad Tesla cars are in the winter, because you sit outside all the time, I believe. And
They do.
The fact you live in Canada.
We do. And yesterday it was minus 19 Celsius. Now, I will say we do charge them more often in the winter. One, they do use a little bit more battery in the winter, but most of that is actually when it's sitting around versus when it's sitting around in the summer. The other large portion of that is that we do precondition them. So we have them scheduled to warm up in the mornings for when we depart. So it both preconditions the battery for driving and it warms up the cabin. We also make use of the defrost feature because that's nice when it's been snowing or freezing rain. So we'll turn the defrost on, and that way we don't have to sit there for 10 minutes before we drive scraping ice off of the windshield, which can be an absolute nightmare. So we do charge more in the winter.
So it does cost us more in the winter, but it's still a fraction of what we were paying gas-wise.
David James is here. He says, "Hey everyone, those Aztecs are looking great so far, Andrew."
Thanks. We're in the process.
The alignment and placement.
We're content creating at the same time.
The port sock pre-weeded.
So the live streams right now are a bit of a behind-the-scenes look at the content creation process as well. So, because I'm doing a deep dive look at the entire masking process for this project from start to finish. So it's just I didn't have time to do a deep dive when I was getting the other one ready for Wonderfest. So, all right, we've got that clip in. I'm just gonna bring my logo around. I've recently shrunk my logo on my edited content as well. I just don't think it needs to take up as much real estate.
Right.
We'll save. All right. And we'll come back to the model because I still have a little bit of masking to remove.
See, I'm wondering, does it allow you to kind of fade your logo out a bit too, so it's a little more transparent?
Oh, I certainly could.
Okay.
I don't want to.
No, but I might.
Yeah, certainly. If you're using a just like a single tone or two tone, like solid color on black or solid color on transparent, then I'd probably put it at a bit of a lower transparency. But I'm using my full color logo, so
right.
if and I'm also like I've got the white circle as well, right?
Yeah.
So I just have it fully non-transparent, because I could do it more as a watermark or something like that.
Yeah. Kind of like how TV channels have that.
Yeah. A lot of times the TV channels will bring their logo in fully non-transparent first, and then it'll go a little more transparent once the program starts.
David says, "You're definitely a much better multitasker than I."
Trust me, this goes it's a much slower process doing it on live stream where you're holding the conversations and everything like that. But and the multitasking is not always successful, I should say. I think we're going to do nacelles. And just trying to decide whether we
pre-weed or not.
Pre-weed or not. I didn't last time, but I do remember it being challenging to get these to lay down because of the shapes of the surfaces.
Right.
Oh, and I also forgot. These are in two parts.
And then you can change your angle after and put us back on the desk.
Oh, sorry. There we go. So these are actually in two parts. They there's a break in the application, so you're not applying the whole piece at one time.
Oh, okay. Did you want to? Oh, I was going to say, did you want to record showing weeding? But
yeah, I'm not weeding yet. I'm just taking the extra border off around the pieces of masking.
Okay.
Because we're going to grab this. You're going to see my head here. We're just going to break this into the 2 pieces we need. Do I want to pre-weed?
And if so, do you want to film it?
Well, I'm going to film it, and what I might do tell me, would you like to see? Oh, did I accidentally activate? How did that happen? There's chat
On your
showing
screen? Yeah, I'm not sure.
There we
There
go.
you go.
Must have accidentally clicked it. People can see the chat in the chat. Doesn't need to be on the screen too. What I might do, okay, so because you are pretty good at putting together step by step, this is how you do it videos.
Right.
So here's my options. I just do it pre-weeded and be done with it. Or I do 1 nacelle pre-weeded and 1 nacelle not pre-weeded to show the options.
That is a good option to do it that way. Show people, the multiple different ways.
Okay. And which way would you probably want to see first?
I would almost say the non-pre-weeded one first.
Yeah.
Show it going on. This is how it would go on like this. And then I would come back and weed it. And then you could come back in and say, okay, now another option you have is to weed it beforehand. And this is what that's going to look like. So what I'll do is I'll remove these parts and then I'll, apply my transfer and then apply it to the ship.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and do that then. Let's see. But first, it's really, really important that I mention that we're going to a commercial break.
Yes. I realized what you were doing.
Yes. Yeah. Again, let me know in the chat if you have received
an ad
just now. And of course, I spelt received wrong. There we go. So we'll just wait for the ad to get done before we actually move on here. And that'll be the last one of the night. I think just 2 during the course of the night.
Yeah, I don't know if in the future you just want to do it, like maybe do it one at the 45-minute mark and then one at the 1.5 hour mark.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I have to remember that though.
I can try and help you remember. That's what I'm here for.
So we'll just wait for everybody to be back here. Might as well top up my tea while we wait.
Say, Andrew, what kind of tea is that?
This would be tea, Earl Grey, hot. And because I have a tea cozy on my teapot, it stays hot during the live stream. The only problem with drinking a whole pot of tea during the live stream and then going to bed is I'm usually up
sometime in the middle.
Sometime in the night. Caffeine beverages. They won't keep me up, but they'll eventually get me up. All right, that should be loads of time. So in case you missed it, what we're going to do now is we're going to demo the application of the masks on the nacelles both ways, both pre-weeding and not pre-weeding the masks. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to reposition the camera. I'm going to put the camera on screen for you, and then I'm going to reposition the camera, or continue to reposition the camera. I'll clean up the desk a little bit so it's not quite so messy. We don't need that many clamps on screen.
The S-hook. The S-hook. I'm just kidding.
Okay. So that's this one. Yeah, that's the port, and that's the one I've got. All right. Transfer film with the Adidas print on it.
Yeah, you gotta love that transfer film. You can use it so many times.
Yeah. I'm wanting to find out from Wayne what kind, like the make, model, or whatever of this transfer film, because I really like using this stuff.
I thought he told us one time.
If he did, I don't remember.
I thought it was on one of the streams he was on, and he had said, did I record it? Let's find out.
I mean, I've got a message into him, but I remembered to send him the message before live stream, and he's in the UK, so he's probably all snug in his bed with visions of sugar plums dancing in his head.
No, it doesn't look like I recorded it anywhere.
Because I really like it, and I'd like to just order a roll of it.
Yeah. And that way, too, you can just order it whenever you need.
Yeah, because I'd like to, because if I end up painting the registry, I'm going to need it. And I like this stuff. And I don't really want to take a risk on an unknown product.
Howard says, I think when you go to turn this over is to keep it flipped over and do all your masking painting work on the bottom so you don't have to flip it multiple times, and also to risk scratching the, like, I guess he means the ship, the model, the paint job.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
The top paint job, not sure how much you'll have to flip it to add on decals.
Well, plus when it comes to decal time, it'll be sealed, right? So it'll have a
clear
gloss coat.
Yeah.
Which I still have to look at ordering that clear coat that you sent me the message for.
Right. Yeah. That was the one that I believe it was Trent recommended. So if you're still here, Trent, thank you very much. I want to try some too, but I don't want to order any before you do, just in case. And then you don't get any and I get it. I don't know how, because it doesn't say how much they have in stock. So I know the VMS stuff does go out of stock pretty quickly, quite often. It's pretty popular.
All right, let's do this thing.
Okay, I'll mute.
So we're moving on to the nacelles, and don't mind the Adidas footprint on the transfer film. Oh, I'm gonna have to start that again because it'd be nice to actually have the microphone somewhere near where I'm working. And we'll give the, oh, microphone's right in the way now. That's better. Let's try that again. So we're moving on to the warp nacelles. I've got the mask here. Don't mind the Adidas footprint. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you both methods of putting these masks on. The first one we're going to do is the mask not pre-weeded. And so we'll do one nacelle with the masks not pre-weeded, and we'll do one nacelle with the masks pre-weeded. That way you can kind of see which option you like better. I'm going to take my glasses off to get a little bit of a up-close look here. And I'm going to use this detail here, which goes in the middle of one of these squares, this one here, to center my mask side to side. And I'm going to use the edge of the nacelle to get my distance back and forth. Now I can see that through. You may not be able to see that on camera. And this mask is divided into two halves to make placement a little bit easier for you. Now the challenge doing this not pre-weeded comes in the back end here. And you'll see as I start to pull this off. I'm going to press down the front half and put my glasses back on and pull the transfer back off. But because of the shape back here, it can be a little difficult to get those masks just to lay down properly. And we are having some come up here. I'm just going to press those down as I pull this back. And I highly recommend pulling the transfer film off from the front back when you're doing these. Again, you'll see that here in a moment. But these back panels really don't like to sit down. And to be honest, I'm not overly concerned about these side pieces sitting down because they're going to be removed. So they're part of the material that's going to be removed. So what you want to have sit down properly is this piece on the end. So now we're going to take this piece up. And we're going to pull, being mindful that everything that needs to stay behind does stay behind. Go. And now we just touch up this back end piece here.
Again, it's got some interesting areas to kind of sit over top of. And we're just going to kind of pinch the end in here. There we go. And then this piece kind of sits over like this. There we go. There are some other pieces that need to be removed to weed it out, but that's the general back piece that needs to be done. All right, recording done for the moment.
Looks good.
Let's get that into the editing software.
You can take us off the ship.
Yeah, just in one moment. I'm just going to do some file transfer here, and then I will bring you back to the editing suite. Here we are. Aztek 02 vid 06. Yeah, this is my workflow all the time. I always edit as I go.
We're moving on to nacelles and start that again to actually have a microphone. Oh, microphones. Try that again. So
I might need to stabilize this clip. Camera looks like it's oops. Camera looks like it's bouncing around a bit. So we'll click on that. We'll go over to our inspect. We will choose stabilize, and we're gonna just let it stabilize for a moment.
David says, nice to see Wayne's decals, I think he means masks, go on just as easily at this scale as the 1400 scale.
Yeah. They're pretty good. And I like that they are the transparent vinyl. So you can see through them. It really helps with placement. So you can see that I used that square. So I used the detail on the nacelle itself in the center, and the fact that I could see through the masks. So I could see through the mask and the transfer film. And that way I could line it up with the detail underneath. So I really like that Wayne's using that transparent masking. I've got a whole roll of it here because I plan to use that in other projects. All right, so it's been stabilized. And we're doing this.
So we're moving on to the first pre-weeded here.
That footprint really shows up.
It does.
Get my distance back into 2 half comes in the back and pull the transfer to get as I back. To be honest,
again, the back end of the nacelles is a little tricky, but it works out.
We're going to take this piece up, being mindful that it behind.
It's hard keeping my head out of frame.
Yeah.
But I have to be able to see what I'm doing.
Touch up this back end.
As long as it's not in the frame the entire time. I mean, that seems.
Yeah.
Again, it's got some interesting. There we go. And then this piece kind of sits over like this. There we go. There are some other pieces that need to be removed to weed it out, but that's the general back piece that needs to be done.
There we go. Just extend the logo. And it's a longer clip than I thought it was. And so far, we're already at 12 minutes and 37 seconds of video.
Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
You are almost down to 10 minutes to the hour.
All right.
It's actually about 13 minutes to the hour.
Mm-hmm. So let's get the front end of that put on.
Now, do you want to use the front end to show pre-weeding? Or do you want to do that on the other nacelle?
I think I'll do it on the other nacelle.
Okay.
And you probably want to see what I'm doing right now, don't you?
It would be great. It would be
It's
terrific.
great. Let me check what the weather's supposed to be like in the morning, because if it's not a problem, I might just go a little overtime. Looks like there's no shoveling required in the morning, so
Well, that's a plus.
might go a little overtime here. We'll see.
The crowd is happy.
Okay. I don't know. It sounded like a box of cereal shaking or something. Not quite.
Did it? That was applause, apparently. That was applause, intense. Steve's here. Steve Martin. He says a slick production.
Welcome to the live stream. We are. Oh, I've got a window open over my StreamYard, so I can't actually see. There we go. We're continuing to mask and making content in the process. Both live stream content and edited video content.
A double threat.
Backing peeling ASMR.
So what are you working on tonight, Steve?
Tiny little piece that came with the backing and didn't want to go down. It's fighting me a little bit to go back in its proper place. And I'm pretty sure it's a piece that I'm not sure if it's a piece that has to stay. But I want it there for now, at least. There we go. Got it back into place. Oh, by the way, I finally got to see the war between the land and the sea.
Good. Have you watched all of it yet?
I have.
Yes.
I enjoyed all 5 episodes. Oh, you saw it?
Yep, I enjoyed it.
It was... So I'm going to say this about 2 shows. The first is Starfleet Academy, which I will not give any spoilers to any of these, because I'm sure there's lots of people that haven't seen who might want to see. So I will not give spoilers, but when it comes to both Starfleet Academy and the war between the land and the sea, they were both better than I expected them to be.
I'd like to see them in the future make more content on, on Unit.
Yeah.
From war between the land and the sea.
The main character So the actor who played the kind of like the main character they followed through the 5 episodes.
Yep.
On the War Between the Land and the Sea. So he's been in Doctor Who previously as a different character.
Okay.
Back in the David Tennant days, and he was much younger at the time.
Okay.
And played a very kind of younger adult character.
Was he one of the companions?
No, he was. So there was a Christmas special where they were on a spaceship Titanic.
Oh, that episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he played the young officer, Alonzo. And so we've seen him before on Doctor Who.
Right.
And I was pleasantly surprised in his quality of acting in the War Between the Land and the Sea.
Which is kind of funny now that you think back to some of his lines in the movie, or in the episodes. There is that one line where he said he did meet the Doctor once.
Yeah, but it's not the same character.
No, but it's kind of funny. Yeah. The actor had kind of a nod almost back.
Yeah. So it was so visually it was really well done. And there were a lot of things that were really good about it. And so it was better than I was expecting it to be. And then Starfleet Academy was also better than I expected it to be.
There was a lot of negative press about it.
Yeah, well, I've never liked the idea of them doing a Starfleet Academy show, because that's not a new idea. They've been talking about doing a Starfleet Academy show as long as I can remember. And it's the concept has taken many different shapes and iterations and stuff over the years, but it's just never been anything I've really wanted.
Right.
So I mean, there was that. So in a way, I was kind of already predispositioned to not be overly interested. But the other thing is that it is out of the Discovery timeline, and there's just some things that I don't think Discovery did well as a show.
Right.
But I think that they did Starfleet Academy, at least so far, they've done it better. And I think that had they done a show, whether it was this Starfleet Academy or it was following a starship or something in the 30th century, without Discovery, I think it would have been so much better. I'm looking at my cup there, my teacup.
Yeah.
And the way the light's shining and the tea is moving, if you just get it quite right, it looks like the way they depict a black hole event horizon.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Anyway,
let's see here. Steve says he's doing some 3D printing, adding some lasers to his Cylon Raiders, and trying to keep his eyes open. And David James says, first episode of Starfleet Academy fell pretty flat for me, and I struggled to care about the characters, but I do see some potential, so I'll stick with it for now.
Yeah, I mean, it's got the what's the word I'm looking for? The disadvantage of being part of the Discovery world, I think.
Right.
All right, let's add this next section here. So we're going to go back to the model. I'm going to take my face off the screen, and we're going to hit record.
All right.
And this will probably be the last clip we record tonight. Okay. So now we have to add, So now we're going to add the front section of masking. The masks come in two pieces. And our alignment, I'm going to use the front section. Hopefully my head's not in the way too much. And I'm going to align it on the front using the chiller grill areas. Now we might need to slide this around a little bit just to get our alignment perfect. Now it doesn't actually have to be 100% perfect because the masking on the edge is actually going to be some of the masking that is removed. But here we go. I can hear people being loud outside as I do this. Hopefully that doesn't come through too badly on the video here. Okay, I think we've got this aligned up. Welcome to aligning the masks. By the way, if you haven't checked out Aligning the Stars, go check out that channel with Jordan. But this is aligning the masks. All right. Let's gently pull these masks back. And I'm not looking at the video, so I don't know how much of my head has been in the way there. I had a time lapse in my last video putting masks on the saucer, and that was pretty much impossible to keep my head out of the way on that one. Just the way the camera is located directly above the model. Here we go. I'm holding down the edges of the transfer material to keep it fairly flat to the surface, which is helping me to remove it without any little pieces coming with the transfer tape. So that's something you might want to try to do as well. There we go. They're on there. I'm going to grab a pair of tweezers here, if I can find, and we're going to pull the rest of the big pieces here. So I'm just going to grab the edge. Here we go. You gotta love pulling the mask off. And you can see how I was saying about aligning. You don't have to align too closely to these areas because that masking material gets pulled off. And there we go. Again, some little bits that need to be weeded out, but it's looking really good. And recording stopped.
All right, so we have some bunch of comments here. We have Buck is here. He says hello all. Necronaut Drummer is back tonight. He says, my goodness, that model is huge. And Todd is back. And
welcome. Oh, I saw that I see that you posted segment being recorded. That threw me off. I thought that was the last last thing I posted at the commercial time. I'm like, why is the chat not keeping up on StreamYards. What's going on? Until I
No,
read
no,
it, realized,
that was me because a lot of people started like were new in and were talking. So I was like, I'll let them know. They're not being ignored.
Yeah.
Steve wants to know what you guys think of the design of the USS Athena. I have some. Do you want me to go first? I don't care for the non-connected nacelles, that sort of stuff.
Induction warp drive.
Yeah, and I don't really care for the size of the bridge. That thing's just way too huge. Looks like a waste of space. It would be too hard for the captain or, other people to get to other stations if they needed to. It is just with the amount of equipment they have there and the amount of space, to me, it looks like it's too much. It could be in a smaller area. And I'll just leave it at that.
All right. My thoughts on the Athena. I mean, the designs of ships that they're going with in this 30th or 31st or whatever century it is that they're in. I mean, they're very different than Starfleet vessels we are accustomed to. And I recognize that it's a completely different time. And they want them to look different because it's so far in the future. I get that. Again, I'm not a fan of the disconnected pieces of ship because they just seem to be doing that with every single ship in that time frame. But I think my biggest criticism would be the interior, specifically the bridge interior. It looks a little bit too much like Pike's Enterprise from Strange New Worlds. And you've got to ask, why are they going for the same aesthetic in the 30th century or the 30 whatever century as they did in the 22nd for Pike's ship? Because the bridge looks like it has been taken out of Strange New Worlds. And some of those consoles on the bridge, I mean, to see the view screen, they're like this.
Yes.
Seems
Agreed.
A little bit odd. It's not as bad if they're on the wall around, to me. But when they're in that center ring and they're like back towards the view screen, that seems a little bit off to me.
Yeah.
But my biggest criticism is that it looks like it's been literally, the sets have been lifted out of Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
Now we're going to add the...
Todd says he's back.
Welcome back.
Buck says, wow, the Aztek on the front of that nacelle reminds me of the Space Force McSergeant stripes. No, sorry, Master Sergeant stripes. The Space Force Master Sergeant stripes.
Sure.
So now we're going to add the front section too much. And
oh, there's my head in the way. Head in the way.
Yes, it was in the way a little bit for that. You kept moving it in and out.
Removed. So that doesn't come through too badly. I'm lining the...
At least I don't have a bald spot.
Yet.
Out of the way on that one.
Todd said he, after stopping by the new house, they went for some Chinese.
A little bit without on there. Full.
Well, thank you, Todd. Todd says Ken is being a good producer.
Yes, indeed.
Buck said, I felt ignored. LOL.
And you can see how I was saying about aligning. You don't have to align too closely. There we go. Again.
Nick, we're not drummer, says Athena is not to my taste. I don't really like the non-connected ship segments on any ships.
I think that portion of it's just a little bit overdone.
And Todd says, largest Star Trek ship set they've ever built. He said the ship interior, I would say.
Yes. Physical interior set. Physical interior set. Largest physical interior set. I just think about the TARDIS of the interior of Discovery in that turbolift scene, which but largest physical set.
Never not drummer said the interior looked very impressive.
Yeah. I don't know anybody working on that show, so there's probably no chance I can get in to see that one.
Buck says, with transwarp beaming, why would they need ships?
That's the problem when you introduce something like that.
David James says, I can forgive the Athena design since it's also doubling as the school, but yeah, not a big fan of the new ships. Buck says, hey, leave my balding head alone.
Yeah. I'm gonna record a quick audio clip here.
All right.
Because I think I need to warn people that my head's gonna be in the way.
All right. And Todd says, yes, the physical sound stage for size.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm muting.
On the road in Toronto. I need to know what I'm saying first.
Please pardon my head being in the way.
I had something that I was going to say. Oh, I got it. Okay, recording. And now a clip of my head being in the way.
And now a clip of my...
Nope, I was too loud. Let's do that again. And now a clip of my head being in the way. That looks better on the wave pattern. Let's export that. Bumper, we'll call that bumper 01. Which means we're going to separate that a little bit. Put the bumper audio in.
Buck says, back to my movie and the Connie.
Okay, where did that audio save? I don't know where... Oh, it hasn't saved yet.
Well, that answers that.
Wondered why I couldn't see it anywhere. Okay. Dropping the audio in. And we need a title. We'll just drop a basic. No, let's undo that. Let's roll back to the beginning of the video. Let's steal the thank you.
Need to be,
and because it's already got the right font. And let's pop that in. Trim this down a little bit.
to be done. And now a clip of my head being in the way. And now a clip of my head being in the way.
And what should the caption, like what should the title be? Any suggestions?
Well, you are Canadian, so you could just say sorry.
I was thinking that.
You could actually put in there, being Canadian, I must say, I'm sorry. Ah, there you go. Yeah, I like that.
So let's put the push in there. Let's put the push in here. Copy this. Lay it in there.
That's the general back piece that needs to be done. And now a clip of my head being in the way. So now we're going to add the front section of masking. The masks.
How is that?
I think that's good.
So let's cut that. Cut that. Oops. Don't need to cut that multiple times.
Piece that needs to be done. And now a clip of my head being in the way. So now we're going to add the front section.
So I had some comments on the short that my head was in the way. So I made sure to mention it when I put the short in my video.
And there we go. Again, some little bits that need to be weeded out, but it's looking really good.
Okay. There we are. And we have gone overtime. So I think we're going to end things there tonight. So
Thank you, everyone, for coming along and chatting to us.
Yeah, we got, let's see, we got, well, let me de-zoom.
We have a new commenter. Duck says, good session.
Thank you. So we managed to get masking on these sections. I mean, it doesn't look like a lot for 2 hours, but we're getting there.
Plus, you were making content.
Yeah.
And you did attach that photon torpedo launcher.
Yeah. And don't worry, what you're seeing, like the distortion on the pylons there that you're seeing from where the supports go through, you're seeing that because of the sheen of the French blue paint that's on there and the bright lights that are on there. Once the Aztecs go down, you're not really going to be able to see that. That's going to disappear. But yeah, so that's what we've managed to get done tonight. So I hope that it's been at least interesting for you, or that the vinyl ASMR has been entertaining for you. But we're going to call it there. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this, please make sure that you hit the like button. If you're new to my channel or you haven't done so yet, hit the subscribe button today. That'll make me happy if you do. But for now, my name is Andrew. This is Canadian Starships. Your producer tonight has been Ken. Have a good night, everyone.
Take care.